Okay. Press circle to dive. I hate this because it seems like every time I need both hands on the controller, my forehead starts. Son, what are you doing? What are you doing, bud? You gonna come sit down on my computer and cause problems for me? Hey, what are you chewing on? Oh, damn, I meant to steal from them. Sir, sir, sir. You are laying your tail on my keyboard. This is delightful. Hello, son. What are you doing? Hey, what you up to? Hey, sweet boy. Mwah. 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 I love you. But guess what? You're gonna have to move. I love you so much, but you're gonna have to move, my guy. I'm sorry. Down, boy. Okay. Well, now that the cat issue is all squared away, let's fight some fish. Not the proudest I've been, but it is what it is. Oh. Yeah, and if you're not holding down circle when you get out of battle, not that you have to, but you'll raise back up. What are you doing now? Okay, so here we are. This almost looks like a freaking, like a spaceship. We'll go ahead and save again. We don't really need to because the odds of us dying here are like next to 0. But it never hurts, right? Okay, let's go examine this. That's how I fix everything in my house. Okay, so these guys are pretty weak, so I would just basically steal from them as much as possible. Yeah, just steal from them, and then use Tidus to knock them out. He can do all the stealing, and she can just get as many grenades as she possibly can, because they'll be handy in the next fight. I meant to use some to. Did I say her name just now? I think I did. I'm gonna have to bleep that. I don't really have to. I'm just going to. Like, you find out in like 5 minutes what her name is. So I don't know why I'm making a deal out of it. I don't really care, but it's for the sake of continuity, if I'm being honest. So if you hear a bleep, I'm not swearing, I'm just saying. Alright. This one's so finicky. Examine. Alright, so, got whatever they needed fixed, so let's head on out of here. I actually think last time I did this I had an ambush. So yeah, here we go with another boss fight. It's a great time to just unload these grenades on him. I truly don't think he could survive 5 grenades if he tried. So this is standby. He really just raises it to 50. And actually, I found out you can use grenades from this distance, so you may as well just do that. Like, if I can kill him before... Yeah, only two grenades left. Let me see how quickly I can actually kill this thing. I actually might be shooting for a record here. You never know. Oh yeah, he dead. That's crazy. I really didn't think I'd be able to beat him that quick. Yeah, I didn't know you could throw grenades over to the other side. I've always just assumed that when you're there you have to use the trigger commands. Another level up for Tidus, still nothing for... Bleep that. Alright. So they got these underwater spotlights. So this is actually, it took me actually quite a few playthroughs before I actually realized that this was what this was.
Futra ersje! Tradanukt van een neker. Hoef, roefdu, tungadib. We, Wicheta!
Hey! Hey, I helped out, didn't I?
Only enough not to get thrown overboard, apparently.
Hungry. Whoa! Right on.
Hey! It's 'cause you eat too fast. Hey!
Hello there. What is your name?
Riku?
Whoa! You really do understand. Woo-hoo-hoo! Why didn't you say so earlier?
I didn't get a chance to. Everyone thought we were a fiend.
We?
Oh, we means you.
Who are you guys anyway?
We're Al Bhed. Can't you tell? Wait, you're not an Al Bhed hater, are you?
I don't even know what an Al Bhed is.
What are you looking at? Huh? What are you looking at?
Where are you from?
Xanarkin. I'm a blitzball player. Star player of the Xanarkin Abes.
Did you hit your head or something?
You guys hit me?
Oh, right. Do you remember anything before that?
So I told her everything there was to tell about Xanarkin. About life there, Blitzball, and Sin's attack. And about how Aaron and I were engulfed in this light. I just said things as they came to mind. But then I started to wonder. Did I say something funny?
You were near Sin.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry, you'll be better in no time. They say your head gets funny when Sin is near. Maybe you just had some kind of dream?
You mean I'm sick?
Because of Sin's toxin, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, there is no Xanarkand anymore. Sin destroyed it 1,000 years ago. So no one plays blitzball there.
Huh? What do you mean, 1,000 years ago? But I saw Sin attack Xanarkin. You're saying that happened 1,000 years ago? No way!
Alright, so Tidus just got his first bit of good news, which was that Riku here actually understands what he's saying, and he kind of confirmed that, and he was like, okay, after being swept away from my home and being potentially spirited away, I'm finally able to communicate with somebody, because I mean, you know, when he first got dropped there, he was all alone, and then everyone who came to, you know, everyone who came and blew down the wall at that temple that he was in, none of them spoke the language that he spoke except for Riku, and this is like his first bit of like human interaction, which I'm sure is just an insane, like, that's got to feel insane after the crazy shit he's just been through. Mixed in with that, he's now just discovered that his hometown was destroyed, not yesterday, like he thought, but 1,000 years ago. So he hasn't been isekai'd, he's been time traveled, is basically what conclusion we're arriving at right now. He's just been transported into the future. Now, Riku brings an interesting element into this, and that is the toxin. Sin's toxin that everyone says your head gets funny when Sin's nearby. It opens up the possibility that he's also an unreliable narrator, because maybe he actually didn't go through any of that stuff, and maybe he did dream it, and maybe he is actually just suffering from the side effects of Sin. Anyway, let's do this one little move I have on the sphere grid. I don't usually, I don't like to do it every single time I get one. Like every time I get sphere level, I don't usually go in and knock it out. Usually I do it by zone. So like I'll do like one kind of corridor area and then do the sphere grid at the end and then rinse and repeat. And that usually keeps you pretty sharp. All right. Well, let's see what else we got.
You said you play blitzball?
Uh-huh.
You know, you should go to Luca. Someone might know who you are, or you might find someone you recognize.
Luca?
Ah.
Huh.
Okay, leave it to me. I'll get you to Luca. Promise. You'd rather stay here? Okay, I'll go tell the others. Wait here. Oh, and one thing. Don't tell anyone you're from Xanarkand, okay? Yevon says it's a holy place. You might upset someone.
Oh, uh-huh. My Xanarkand? Some kind of holy place? Yeah, right, I thought. Since when? Yevon? Sin? Luca? I thought Sin just took me to a faraway place, that I could go back in a day or two. But 1,000 years into the future? No way! Whoa!
Shin! Sinek Musa! Etonic! Etonic!
Whoa! Ah! Riku! Blitzball!
Hey, you okay?
Hey!
Alright. So, Sin came back, moved him again. So did he go back 1,000 years again, or did he go forward another 1,000 years? Who the hell knows? Is he in the same... I mean, I know, obviously. So, here's one thing. I'm doing a little bit differently with my playthrough. So, like I said, I've done a whole lot of modeling after like my own like playstyle based off of Dansko Ape, particularly with the like not talking through cutscenes and trying to remain relatively spoiler free and all that good stuff. He had his stuff segmented so well with his gameplay videos, especially with this one. It was all done so well, and it was just spectacular. But I kind of, you know, I don't want to. As much as I'm probably ripping off his style, especially early on, now that I'm kind of doing my own thing, I'm kind of branching out a little bit more. I don't feel like I'm doing it as much, but I'm just gonna collect stuff as I go along. So that item that we just grabbed out of that chest, that was the moon crest. We are not going to need that for a long time, but I just assume grab it while I'm here. That's really about the size of it. We got another chest right over here as well. There it is. It's either one or two. I'm pretty sure it's just one. I was just here yesterday. I should know this off the top of my head, but I seem to not. Yeah, that's about as far as we can go. So, let's go talk to this dude who obviously plays blitzball. All these guys on this beach, blitzball players. And that is, you know, like Tidus' first bit of good news he's had in a bit.
try that move one more time.
Finally, things were starting to look up.
You know, amateur. Who you play for?
The Xanarkin Abes.
What team you say again?
I meant, forget that. I got too, close to Sin, and my head's all foggy like. So, I don't know where this place is, or even where I came from.
Sin's toxin got to you, but you're still alive. Praise be to Yevon. All right, back to practice. I'm WAKKA, coach and captain of the Besaid Aurochs, brother. What, you hungry? Okay, back to the village. I'll get you something.
All right, so we have a really big tone change now, and that's, like I said, I really do love this game, but if it would have stayed in that kind of tone that it had right before this, it would just drag me down too much, because it's like, it was very dark and gloomy up until, you know, he got right here. Now it's like, you know, it's a little more upbeat. This is a much happier setting, a much happier tone. You know, we get to meet this dude WAKKA. He's obviously a blitzball. Maybe I should learn how to talk. Blitzball player. You know, finally he's got people that he can like kind of connect with. Not that he, you know, not that he couldn't connect with Riku at all, but it's like, hey, even though I've, you know, traveled 1,000 years in time, there's some people that I can actually relate to in some way, shape, or form. I've got, you know, I've got this shared passion with these other dudes, and you know, that's just how stuff is. You know, sometimes you just, you know, you make friends easier when you guys like similar things. That just tends to be the case. You also heard WAKKA say, "Praise be to Yevon." That's the second time we've heard that. We've heard that from Riku as well. It's obviously got some sort of religious connotation to it. We'll, you know, I mean, we'll see where it goes.
I felt like I could trust this WAKKA, so I just had to ask. It's true Xanarkin was destroyed, right? 1,000 years ago? So it's just a big pile of rubble now, isn't it?
Long time ago, there were a whole lot of cities in Spira. Big cities with machina, machines to run them. People played all day and let the machina do the work. And then, well, take a look. Sin came and destroyed the machina cities. And Xanarkand along with him. Yeah, that was about 1,000 years ago. Just like you said. If you ask me, Sin's our punishment for letting things get out of hand. What gets me, though, is we gotta suffer because of what some goofballs did way back when. Of course, we must always repent for our sins. That's important. It's just that it's hard to keep at it sometimes, you know?
It was just as Riku said. WAKKA and Riku couldn't both be lying. Why would they?
But you from the Xanarkand days, that was a good one, huh? Hey, I'm not saying that team never existed, yeah? But you gotta figure, a team living in luxury like that be pretty soft, eh?
I appreciated the fact that WAKKA was trying to cheer me up. But at that time, all I could think about was everything that happened to me. All this started with Sin. Maybe if I could find Sin one more time, I could go home. For now, I just live life until that time came. No more worrying about where or when I was. Sure, it was hard not to think of home, but I started to feel better already. A little better, maybe.
So, WAKKA's given us a bit more insight to Sin. He's basically confirmed what Tidus was already afraid of, which is that Sin destroyed Xanarkand 1,000 years ago, and that further feeds into the, you know, narrative. Is he an unreliable narrator at this point? Is he, you know, straight up delusional because of the toxin from Sin? Now, WAKKA did give a little bit more insight as to why Sin exists. He was describing, these cities that ran on Machina, which technology is machines. According to WAKKA, people were becoming too reliant on Machina, and as a result of that, Sin came and destroyed all the Machina cities, and people had to become less dependent on it. That's WAKKA's kind of watered down version of it. It's not that WAKKA's lying, but that is a very basic explanation of it. There's obviously there's a lot more to it than that. Even outside of like stuff like that's like further progressed in the story, there's just more to it than that. He's probably giving him a watered down version because he thinks at this point in time he thinks that Tidus is sick, that he's delusional from the toxin. This is where I get one of the biggest complaints about this game. This is the one I hear, and it's that, hey, why didn't they tell him more? Why didn't they give him more information earlier on? I think a big part of that is because they think, like, his party, everyone from, from this area, from, this time period, they all think that he's suffering from Sin's toxin. So they probably think he's going to snap out of it at some point, and he's going to just, poof, remember everything. Tidus doesn't think that's going to happen. So that's probably why they don't give him all of the information to everything right up front. And that's usually what, like, people call that a plot hole. Because there is an element to that is important to the story later, that they just don't tell him. And they're like, well, why aren't they telling him? Why don't they just tell him? Probably because they think he's going to snap out of it. Probably because they think he's going to remember everything when the toxin wears off. All that being said, let's go ahead and grab a quick save, and then we'll keep going. I have the house to myself for maybe a little over another half hour. That being said, I'm gonna go ahead and take a quick break. I'm gonna probably grab a snack real quick. I need a little something to eat, so I'm gonna stop here for just a second, and then we'll come back and I will continue on from here.